Good evening, Gogglefrogs. Hopefully you've had a wonderful week and are loving whatever you're crafting this week. So I just want to say cheers to everybody. It's been, I think it's been quite a week. We're on Wednesday evening, and this is apparently now where the UK holiday starts. Not for everybody, but we've now got 2 bank holidays, 2 days of the weekend, and at some point in that, some people will be able to party and some people will hibernate. So I don't know which camp you're in, but for the next hour, an hour and a bit, who knows what we are going to talk about. So if this is your first time, I'm Angela. This is our wonderful friend Marion, and this is our wonderful friend Robert, and we will be chatting about anything and everything. So,
no, not quite. We still have rules.
We have one thing that is not on topic.
We still have rules.
And thankfully, it is not. I just want to emphasise that again. Thankfully, the one rule that we have is we never talk politics. And it's never going to happen.
We do it for 341 shows as well. So let's.
We've managed it as well.
Yeah.
Or apart from I once mentioned.
Don't.
Something the other side.
No. We did not do politics because in the world of crafting, it does not matter. The only thing that matters is that we have beautiful wool, or out of wool that ain't that nice, we make beautiful creations. So for the next hour and a half, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but maybe we are going to say no. If something else comes up that's not on topic, but who cares? We are here anyway. How are you this week, Marion?
Well, I think you both know what happened yesterday.
Well,
I went to hospital. I haven't got golfer's elbow. I've got a torn ligament in my elbow.
Oh no.
Yeah, which probably requires surgery.
Oh.
So can we all just say, Marion, as the trooper that she is, has been continuing when people have said, and by people I mean medical people have said, just take some tablets, just rest it up for a few weeks, just do this, just do that. The poor lady has got a ripped tendon. So lots of TLC for Marion, but at least because of her osteopath encouraging her to have it checked further, at least she's identified that it's not going to go away just taking 2 tablets every few hours.
Yeah, which I never have. I have to say, I've never taken any painkillers for it because that only masks it. And I have cut down dramatically on my knitting, and I'm probably going to do a little bit tonight, and that will probably be it very much until next week.
Oh, wow.
I've cut down that much from sort of 3 or 4 hours every day to 3 or 4 hours a week.
Oh, but do you know what?
Maybe 6 hours a week.
So it wasn't a very good day, but it was an amazing day to get to the bottom of what has been preventing you from crafting. Well, she's still been doing sewing and things like that.
I've just read Margherita's note, and I have to say she's probably right. But I'd go absolutely bonkers if I couldn't do something.
Marion, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would you like your sewing machine next week?
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. I'll have my iPad. I can read.
Are you sure? Because I've got room in my car for it.
And I've got plenty of room in my car.
Thank you. Because not only is there a sewing machine, there's a cutting board, there's rollers.
You could prep stuff though, couldn't you? To do
because
everything.
You see, I've got a visitor this weekend, haven't I? And I've got things happening this weekend. And where is all the junk gone? Oh yeah, my sewing room.
Okay.
The offer is there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Very much appreciated the offer.
So other than finding out that you've got a very, very poorly tendon. How else are you today?
I'm fine. And the yarn I'm knitting with is one I actually beat Candice to. Now, what everybody needs to know is Candice is our shopper par excellent when it comes to getting bargains of yarn in a charity shop. She has the nose. And on this occasion, I got there first. And I don't think I'll ever let her forget it. 2 balls, that's all I managed to get. But it is rather pretty.
It looks lovely.
Yeah.
What are you making?
Well, there isn't a decent picture of it. It's a top-down baby cardigan. And this has taken me 3 sessions to do.
Oh, wow.
Which I would have normally done in a night. Never mind, eh?
I know. Oh,
never mind.
Well, I'm glad you can do a little bit. And what about you, Robert? How are you?
Well, I was okay. We've had a lovely day together, haven't we? Prepping for next week and the weekend.
Yeah.
And then I had a nice little nap this afternoon. I've just watched Bake Off the Professionals, come upstairs, and I feel actually quite emotional. Because it's just kind of starting to set in that, you know, in 3 weeks' time, what am I going to be doing with my Wednesday night? It's just like, oh, okay.
Aww.
Yeah, it's literally started to hit me. And if it's hit me this early on, God knows what I'm going to be like next Wednesday and next Saturday.
Yeah.
But then after that, Robert, you've got once a month at Milton Keynes.
Yeah, but it's not the same though, Marion, is it? It's not every Wednesday. It's not the same thing that we've done every Wednesday night for nearly 2 years.
But it'll be a different routine, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's true. But yeah. Anyway, yes, I'm fine. Other than that, thank you. Shall we say some hellos?
Yeah,
well, what about Angela? How's she doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine. I don't think I've stopped. I'll tell you. Actually, before we say hellos, we spent the whole day together. I was just saying, I don't know whether it's me, whether it's my memory, whether it's just the fact that every day just runs it to the next. I don't know. But I left Robert's. See you later, you know, Gogglefrogs. Then went to Georgie's and popped round and dropped something for Georgie and had a chat. And then I went, I think I'll do fish and chips. We'll get fish and chips now. Can't be bothered to cook. Looked at my emails and suddenly it was, can I make this certain call? And I thought, no, I can never make that because that's the same time as Gogglefrogs. And I thought, oh my God, it's Gogglefrogs in an hour. Just like, thankfully I did decide. But it's really weird how during the day I knew it was Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week is a sort of total write-off. Even though I don't go to work, it's just that the whole universe has stopped, hasn't it? So I totally forgot it was Wednesday night. All for half an hour, but
it's contagious, isn't it? Because what happened today, I was sat here and talking about Marion and then went, oh, and I'd forgotten it was Wednesday as well.
So I think it's just, do you know what? After 2 and a bit years, there will always be technical hitches and things happening, and it's just one of those days. So,
well, I don't think I helped very much, did I, Robert? In one of the messages you sent me with my answer, because you said to me, "Did I know who was coming on Saturday?" And I went, well, I know some are, and I know that some aren't, and I know some are maybe, which I don't think that's the situation.
No.
But it's true.
And the other funny thing as well, as we were sat there. Oh, sorry. Do you want to say some? Hello. I'll cough.
Yeah.
I'll count.
Right. As always, we are going to do bottom to top. So we start with Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Then we have Safi. Hi, Safi. Then we jump to the L's. We've got Lindy. Hi, Lindy. We've got Linda P. Hi, Linda. Janice. Hi, Janice. We've got Jackie. Hi, Jackie. We've got Grace. Hi, Grace. We've got Georgie. Hi, Georgie. We've got Deborah. Hi, Deborah. We've got Gogglefrog number 1, Brigitte. Hello, Brigitte. And we have Anne. Hello, Anne. We hope you are all safe and keeping well. Let's catch up on some chat.
Sorry, just to let you know from earlier, I'll say it now when I'm not getting a coughing fit. Like Robert suddenly said to me, "Oh my God, it's Wednesday. I said I was going to knitting this morning." And I'm like, "Well, how could you have done that?" He was in work at 7:30 today on his day off. He rang me and messaged me to say when he was setting off. So I got to his house for 11 o'clock as planned. It's just like, and at what point could you have got to a knitting club? So today, I think it's just been Mash-up Wednesday. It has just been a strange day, but we're here. So, and hopefully you're enjoying hearing that, you know what, we all get things wrong.
Me especially.
Oh dear. Sorry. You can do chat now.
So Grace kicks us off this evening by saying good evening. Brigitte reminds us it says evening peeps episode 341. Deborah says evening all. Lindy says good evening all. Jackie says evening peeps. Safi says evening all. And oh dear Marion. Lindy says good evening everybody. Jackie says oh no Marion bless you. Brigitte says I'm not a medical person, but in my humble opinion, I do not think that knitting and crochet cause a torn tendon. No, nor do I. Lindy says, Matt Marion, that's not good news about your elbow. Georgie says, evening. Tracy says, don't give it up. LOL. No, we've got to. We really have to. And then Brigitte says, don't start me off, Robert. Anne says, evening, everybody. And Angela says, it doesn't feel like, Georgie says, Angela, it doesn't feel like a Wednesday. It feels like a Tuesday. Yeah. So God knows what we're going to feel like next week.
I don't know.
1, because we'll have had 4 days off. And then 2, because those of us that are going away next week won't remember what day it is each day either.
No.
But then we do get the really, really special Gogglefrogs next Wednesday, don't we? Because for the next 2 Wednesdays, we're going out on an absolute high. Next Wednesday, we're going to have a whole room of us at the same time. Angela, which reminds me, microphones, please.
Yay!
So that they can hear us. And second, the Wednesday after is a very, very special one. Been planning it for a few weeks now. And that's our last one. So there we go. Shall I do music?
Yeah, that would be good.
So we decided a while ago, didn't we, Angela? I think it was kind of January, early February that we were going to come to an end with this. And so straight away in my head, I started doing my normal planning. So we stopped the proper musical interludes last Wednesday. And then we kicked off some very special ones. So I wasn't here on Saturday. And for those of you that also weren't here or haven't seen the replay, I started it by explaining that for the next 5 musical interludes, which included last Wednesday's, myself, Angela, Marion, Brigitte, and Lindy have all picked our favourite musical interludes. We asked Brigitte to do it because she is Gogglefrog number 1.
And can I just explain for people who've never heard this line before? Brigitte is Gogglefrog number 1. She's made every single show. I haven't. Robert hasn't. Marion hasn't. Like, we just haven't. We've had times when we just haven't been able to get anywhere near this thing. But yeah, she's made every single one of them.
So we started with Gogglefrog number 1.
You all, honestly.
No, we don't. We've asked Lindy because Lindy has been exposed. That's the wrong word, but has
No,
had
it's the right word.
her ears
She has
open.
been exposed to culture that she didn't know existed.
Okay. Has listened to lots of musical pieces that she's not heard before. So she is picking her favourites, and we're having those next Wednesday, which then left us 3. So we are going to finish next Saturday with Angela's choices, and there's a reason for those. And then this coming Saturday, my choices, again, a reason for those as well. So we are on Marion's selection this evening, and I have to say, all of the pieces that have been chosen really fit the theme of the build up to the end. So we're going to play Marion's this evening, and Marion's are in there for has picked 2 pieces, and what she has picked. She's picked her personal favorite, which is the first piece of music that you'll hear, and then she's picked something from the roaring 1920s, when everything was funny and silly, such a simple pleasure, no face masks, and the complete opposite of our 20s. It echoed those years and made me think what a fun thing Gogglefrogs was, and a certain extent of it also sad because it showed us what fun silliness we were missing. So thank you very much, Marianne, for picking these pieces. So sit back, relax, enjoy, everybody. Here is this evening's special musical interlude. There we go. So those musical choices by Marianne. So we had Rhapsody, which is one of her favourite pieces of music, and it's the same version that we played originally because that's what we're going to do with all of them. And then we had 47 Ginger-Headed Sailors, which took me absolutely ages to, 1, remember what the music was, 2, find the show that we played it in, 3, to then find the original version that we played.
I thought I gave you the link.
No, it's fine. It is not your fault. I just, for some reason in my head, I had Jazz on the Beach, and then I was like beach dancing, and I could not find it for love nor money. And then I had to go through the whole list of all 300 pieces of the list that I've kept of all 300 pieces of music we've played, and I just couldn't find it, and I was getting more and more frustrated.
It was just the silliness of it that got me.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we've missed so much, and Gogglefrogs, thanks to the 2 of you, have helped us get over that, and that silliness has been there from you two. I'm not expressing myself very well, but I'm sure everybody knows what I mean. I hope everybody knows what I mean.
Yeah, that we've had a light-heartedness throughout this whole time.
Yeah, and let's face it, the 1928 was tough. Was tough times as well, and for them to come out with something like that.
Well, I'm quite surprised, but it always takes me aback. I've only seen it twice, but I know we all had like a lot of discussion about it afterwards. But just watching it then, that was really, really quite free and easy behaviour, and it's as if something happened from the 1930s onwards, and it happened sort of all over and reversed. It's like a pendulum, wasn't it? So it's just quite incredible that there were times when you couldn't show your ankles, but you could happily dance along to that. It's a fabulous piece of music, though.
It's almost as though you crossed the line from the road onto the beach. The street. No. Cross the line onto the beach, and anything goes.
It's just bizarre, but I love it. Who on earth discovered it or requested it in the first place so that we could all appreciate it?
47 Ginger-Headed Sailors.
You asked for it.
They were both
first of all.
Yeah, they were both her pieces of music originally. Both her picks.
Thank you.
I was just having a play online because Robert wanted music to play.
Right.
And I don't know how I found it, but I wanted nonsense pieces and I found it. I've just found that.
It's just hilarious, but really good. Like, really, really good.
So, Rhapsody in Blue, we played on episode. Oops, what have I done? Oops, press the right button, Robert. So, Rhapsody in Blue, we played on the 3rd of February 2021 for episode 193, which was Marion's 100th episode, where we went into the whole what's in the parcel. I can't believe it's not butter saga.
Yeah, right.
And then we played 47 Ginger-Headed Sailors on the 12th of October 2020 for episode 136.
Wow. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Thank you for requesting such unique music. Love it.
I do my time, please.
So I'm still kind of I'm still lost as to, I know in my head what I want to kind of do for mine on Saturday, and I shall spend most of Friday probably putting it together. So right, let's catch up on some chat. So Brigitte said, I love this version of Rhapsody in Blue. Yes, absolutely brilliant. Jackie said, so do I, fabulous piece of music. Brigitte says, brilliant choice, Marion, proper Bertie Wooster stuff. Jackie says, I like the second piece of music, very toe tapping. Brilliant choices, Marion. Georgie says, that was lovely. It makes me want to go for afternoon tea now.
Yeah.
And Lindy says, great music, thanks, love the pictures. So, Lindy, yours is next Wednesday evening while we're at the retreat, and there's a reason for it.
Matter of interest, when was Rhapsody in Blue first done?
What do you mean first done?
When was that first produced?
Oh,
or
no
performed?
Idea. Oh, no idea. Rhapsody in Blue. So it's by Gershwin.
Yep.
1924.
So 4 years before.
Oh, that was interesting. How coincidental. You're right. 4 years before 47 Ginger-Headed Sailors.
So, yeah, 100 years ago. Both of them.
Oh, my word. When you say it like that, that sounds really quite surreal. Like 100 years ago, those were being played. And 100 years ago, they'd had a time when they weren't allowed to go out of their house, because that's when it was the Spanish flu.
That was the end of the First World War, wasn't it? The Spanish
it was
flu.
about
1918, 1919, 1920.
Yeah, 1920. So about 100 years. So it's really quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And then there was the Yarrow March and the Wall Street crash.
My granddad did the Jarrow March, I'll just say. So, yeah, he did that.
So all those things happened, like they've all sort of mirrored similar now.
Everything is a cycle, it's a circle, isn't it? Everyone thinks it's a new idea, but it's not. It's gone round again and again and again and again. Just, that's just life, isn't it? So I love the music though tonight, and I think everyone else did as well. What?
I must admit, I do like Georgie's idea of afternoon tea now. You can just imagine it, can't you, being sat somewhere like the Ritz or Fortnum Masons or somewhere like that, Brown's even, with Bertie Wooster playing his music, or Noel Coward even, with afternoon tea and little scones and finger sandwiches.
We did toy with having an afternoon tea next week, but it's just too close to dinner and the timings just don't work. Unfortunately.
But you can just imagine it though, can't you?
Yeah, we can.
I love a good afternoon tea. We've we've at work got at the moment got a Jubilee special, and I say we haven't anymore because they sold out so quickly. They made a Bakewell scone, and oh my word, they are gorgeous. They have cherries inside the scone rather than fruit, and they've got an almond flavour. And I thought the almond flavour would be insipid, but it's not. It's gorgeous.
Wow, fabulous.
Robert, I've got news for you. Cherries
Yeah.
are fruit.
Yeah, but okay, not the sultan. Okay, so not the sultanas that we normally have then.
Yeah. And why taunt us when you've sold out?
Because we can't get any more. They've just completely sold out
Across the whole of John Lewis?
across the whole of John Lewis.
Have Waitrose got any?
No, because they were bought in just for John Lewis for the restaurants.
Oh wow. It was really weird the other day when I went into our local party shop because I needed cupcake boxes and things like that. And I went in and there was a sign on the door saying more Union Jack items delivered, hopefully by 3 o'clock today. And you just think, oh my word. And I went, honestly, I think it's absolutely amazing that people are sort of going mad. And I think it's great that people are celebrating. But do you know what I've bought? The celebratory thing that I have bought. Have a guess.
A crown.
No.
Knowing you, it could be one of many things.
Scepter and orb?
No.
No idea.
Hang on a minute. Is this a decoration or is it something to use?
It's both, actually. More something to use, but...
Have you treated yourself to a new mixer?
No, not yet.
Hmm.
But it is food related.
Well, okay. Have you treated yourself to something special?
It's not that special, honestly, but it's one of those things. A Jubilee gin glass, no. A Jubilee cake stand, no. I might have to go and treat myself to these things. But I've got so many from like my grandma and things like that I always use those. I'm going to put you out.
No, Tracy. No.
What she said?
God, no.
Is it butter? No, it's more precious than butter, I'm telling you. I actually treated myself, and every time I go into a shop, I look at this and think, shall I, shan't I? Shall I, shan't I? So I bought a tin of Spam. And I thought...
Spam?
Spam! Well...
Spam!
Spam! A tin of Spam!
Oh.
Do you know what? This was like gold dust years ago, wasn't it? I thought, what is more fitting? Well, I bought 2 tins of corned beef as well, but I was really proud of the Spam. And I thought, when we have our little street party, I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put it on the table. It's going to be a talking point, isn't it? So, yeah, I've actually treated myself to a tin of Spam. It doesn't stop there. I went to the Cod and Waffle tonight for fish and chips for all of us. Went and sat down. As I sat down, my eye glanced, and the special this week is Spam fritters. I said, excuse me, can I have one of them as well? So I ate all of my Spam fritters, left all of my chips, well, Spam fritter, and I ate half of my fish. Honestly, that Spam fritter was like nothing else on earth. It was amazing. So I'm very happy today, and I now realise I want my house filled with Spam at least once a week. So that's...
Do you know what? I'm trying desperately hard to remember when I last had Spam.
Exactly. I haven't had it since I was at school.
I must have been at school. We didn't have it when I was at primary school in Hong Kong. So it must have been primary school here in the UK. So it must have been 1963, 64. would have been the last time.
Oh,
I reckon.
well, I do think that the world survived on spam, didn't it? Like, it was a treat because we couldn't get fresh meat back then. So yeah, I treated myself. I thought, why on earth do we not eat this more often? So, and Tracy said her husband uses it when he goes fishing. I know.
Is that for him to in a sandwich or as bait
As
for
bait.
the fish?
I would imagine. And Safi says her B&M sells vegan spam. Oh wow! You see, it's gluten free. So it's just like, oh my word, this is amazing. So I can actually eat spam. Janice says spam fritters were her least favourite thing in school. My favourite dinners in school were spam fritters and chips, or liver and onions and cabbage. Like, I was the kid who loved all those meals that everyone else hated. Linda says they had spam sandwiches for our VE Day celebration 2 years ago. You see, it's all about, like, it would have been savoured, wasn't it? You'd have had that one tin of spam and you'd have saved it until you had a celebration. So that's what I thought I might do. And Trace said, yes, spam is used as bait. And Linda P. and spam fritters at school for lunch up to 1972. Well, I was a bit older than that. It's early 80s when I was getting spam fritters in school. And I don't understand why we don't have more spam. Love it. I know we get loads of it in our emails and stuff. That's not the sort of spam I'm talking about. But yeah, so now you know what I treated myself to. I have no idea how much it was, but yeah, a tin of spam. And the fact that the chip shop had them on as well as the special, of course, as the spam and chips, spam fritter and chips. And it was just incredible. So go out and buy a tin of spam, everyone.
Well, of course, there is that famous thing from Monty Python.
Spam, I think.
That's right.
Mm.
And what was it? They did a skit about it with the waiter saying or waitress saying you can have spam, egg and chips, spam, and what have you. That was
I'll
so
have you
funny.
know, I'll have you know, spam is 85 years old this year.
Wow.
And does anybody else remember that film with Cary Grant, which came about an advertising executive? And I can't remember what the slogan was that the housekeeper came up with, something like, oh, I know what it was. You ain't had ham if you haven't had ham if you hadn't had wham or something. And I always think of spam. Can anybody else remember the fat film?
No.
I know it was Cary Grant.
I love a Cary Grant film, don't you?
Yeah.
I might have to.
Yeah.
I might have to watch something like that.
You don't like him, Robert?
I've never watched a single Cary Grant film.
You haven't seen Cat on a Hot
You what?
Nope.
What was the?
You haven't seen North by Northwest?
Nope.
What it?
You haven't seen To Catch Your Feet?
Nope.
He is totally unique. He always appears like a bit of a smooth schmoozer type thing. He's not a character actor at all. He's got his own
persona.
It's just Cary Grant. Nobody else is like him.
Who's the actor in A Wonderful Life?
James Stewart. Jimmy Stewart.
Only saw that 3 years ago.
Well, you want to see him
in
Rear Window?
Mm.
Rear Window?
Mm.
That's an Alfred Hitchcock film.
Mm.
Watch him in that. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. What happened to our conversation earlier on, Angela, about trying that gin?
Oh,
what gin?
I forgot. My gin top.
That's all right. I haven't got any either. So for those of you who like to be clued in on these things, I found this company I was supposed to be saving it as a present. I brought myself and Angela a treat.
And I did actually show mine on Saturday morning show. I did.
Right.
So show it.
When you came to my house last Friday, I'd forgotten to hide this bottle of gin, and Angela just went, "Is that any nice? Is that
all right?
How does that taste? Is it nice?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She went, "The Vimto gin," and I went, that's actually for you. I was supposed to have hidden it."
And I'm like,
and then we were going to try our new gins this evening.
Vimto gin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Angela loves Vimto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And there's a gin called, Vimto flavoured gin. It's not called Vimto gin because it's not allowed to be.
It's called Ginto, and it's sort of got the same outside. And I know I'm not supposed to drink Vimto because there's the tiniest bit of blinking gluten in it. But do you know what?
Is there?
Yeah. The cordial, the purple cordial you can't have. You can have the purple fizzy. You can have all of the other colours, but there's a little amount of barley in it. But I'm okay with barley, so I'm all right. It's not wheat. It's another type of gluten. But yeah.
Did I tell you about the time we were on a cruise, has to be a cruise, and we docked in Menorca, and we were in Mahon, and there was a gin distillery there. So, of course, Richard and I toddled off down there, and we bought, a couple of bottles of gin, included in which was a bottle of coffee-flavoured gin, which I have to say was very nice. Put it in the cupboard, and one night I said to Richard, I think I'll have some of that coffee gin. And he went, I think it's all gone. It drunk the lot without saying a word.
Well, it must be nice.
I did that.
What?
You did that? What,
Yeah,
with coffee gin?
No, when there's a nice gin in this house that I like, I sneak little shots of it. and then a conversation happens that's, where's that gin gone? I don't know, dear. Have you not drunk it?
Oh, God.
No, the whole bottle. And I was looking for this bottle and go, didn't we bring back a bottle of coffee gin? Yeah. Well, where is it? Oh, isn't it in the cupboard? No. Oh, I must have finished it then. But I didn't have any of it. No. Well, how many nights did it? Oh, well, I drank it over 3 nights. So it lasted quite a while. Bottle of gin, 3 nights, and I hadn't even noticed. That's the daft thing. Mind day. Another reason to go back to Mahon if I ever get there.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Anyway, I hope no one's flying anywhere or Eurostarring anywhere. And if you are, make sure you've got a nice little stool and your crafting stuff with you. You'll be fine. So, but yeah, I'm sure people will get where they're going. So I hope that nobody's going away this weekend because, yeah. Oh, dear.
I'll bring some gin with me next week.
Oh, right. Okay.
We could do a blind tasting. See what the flavour, if anybody could say what the flavours are.
Well, I try. I am. My taste much better than my smell is, but I'm sure there's times where I just don't know what the taste is either. So, but I do taste everything. It's just I don't quite know what some things are. So, well,
you can always say that's nice, and can I try it again?
Fabulous. I'm so sorry about this stupid blinking tickle. Oh dear. It will go eventually.
You're on, Jackie.
Huh?
Jackie said she'll get the tonic if I take the gin.
Oh.
I think your mum will be all right, Angela.
I think she will be.
I think there'll be plenty to go around.
Yeah, I'll get her some nice stuff. Mind you, we went to Peck's Farm Shop and I needed coal. And I know people are saying, what, it's going to be warm. But my mum feels the cold. And rather than having the living room's the largest room, so it's easier to put a fire on in there. And then the other rooms aren't heated, so we don't get overly warm. So anyway, I went to get some coal, and I turned up, and it was just like, oh, there's no coal. Oh my God, all I could see was compost. So I got out the car, had a look, and there were a few bags behind compost, which was great. So I went there, I got three things of coal, 3 bottles of gin, and a bit of cheese. You know, when you just think, my fridge is full of vegetables and things like that, but never mind. So yeah, so we had a nice little trip out today. Oh dear. So so I've got plenty of coal, so we can have it's just easy, you know, on a morning. Put a bit of kindling on, a few like bits of coal, and it's really nice and toasty and warm. And then when my mum gets up, she's not freezing. But
it has been cold these last few mornings.
Well, this morning I went outside about, I don't know, 8 o'clock, and it was hot. It was sunny. Then it went grey and freezing cold. Then this afternoon, it was so hot, it was burning my back as I was hanging out the washing. And it's just flipping from one extreme to the other, isn't it? So, yeah. But bless her, the other day, I went out, and I don't know what happened, because I sit often with the back doors wide open. And I got back a couple of hours later, and Mum had a blanket over her, and she said, it's really cold in here. And I went, well, the back door's wide open, so we had this fire going. But all the heat was just going outside, so I must have left it open, bless her. So never mind. I'm checking the back door to make sure I shut it in future. Oh, bless. So Brigitte says that she was outside at 6:40 and was wearing her, is it a Klondike jacket? Zipped up. Yeah, it was cold, and then it went hot by just after breakfast. Deborah says it's cold up there. They've had the log burner back on the last 2 nights yet. That's what we're doing. And it's still going.
So I'm in a t-shirt, and I was walking across the car park at work at I got into the car at 7 this morning and was walking across the car park at 7:25 and didn't feel cold.
Wow. But you don't feel the cold very much, do you? I don't feel the cold very much either.
It depends. When I feel the cold, I get really cold. So.
Oh. I've got to finish this one soon, because I need to get on to something else soon. I need to write this pattern up as well. So I will get it done.
You can't finish it.
Oh, true.
You need to show people how to do it next week.
Thank you very much. Oh, that would have been hilarious, wouldn't it?
You need to get to the cast off and stop.
Yeah.
Have you got any free time next week, Robert?
Time.
I'll take this as a no then.
What's free time?
Well, something I never used to have when I went to work. No, it's just that you wanted to know how to do mitering, and I thought, well, if you had a bit of time.
While we're at the retreat?
Yeah.
Possibly. It really depends on how much your hostesses are needed by everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can never quite gauge.
There's plenty of time. I mean, there are 5 different sorts I could show you. So
if it's anything like a Sheringham, then the answer to that is probably no. I would like to think that there would be, but probably not.
Although,
but then there's half the number, and there's 2 of us doing it. So
there's half the number, and there's 2 of us doing it. However, we're doing all the workshops.
Yeah.
And I've already agreed to redo. What? What are you laughing at?
I thought you were going to mention the last bit of the conversation we had today,
No,
where you've really just like dropped yourself in it.
no,
Because I have no time to do it.
no. So we're like swans. No one knows what goes on underneath the surface. No, but there's two people. They've got other commitments on the Wednesday. So I said, oh, can we just,
Oh yeah,
like, can we just have the pattern for that workshop and ask you? And it's just like, yeah, but I will show you. Don't worry. So yeah. So I'll be doing the workshop again for two of them, if you know what I mean, at lunchtime. But it was funny, like we were saying about, have we got enough time between dinner and Gogglefrogs on Wednesday night? And I just said, I don't care. I'm having my pudding. If I have to eat my pudding live on Gogglefrogs next Wednesday, I'm having my pudding. I don't care. It's just hilarious. Robert says we might have to leave the food. I'm not leaving my food. It's coming with me. So we'll be running to wherever we do the show from. So I still haven't seen the place. So I can't wait to see it. Oh dear. So it'll be funny.
Deborah, drop us a separate message. And we'll answer that question for you.
Yeah. We'll do that.
So today, my room is the one room in the one room in the house the cat's not allowed in because the carpet's not racked. We've lived in this house for 17 years now, and we've had the same carpet down for 17 years, and the reason is because the cats wreck it. And I refuse to replace the carpet until we don't have cats. So today, we sat there with my room, the door of my room open because we had to, because we needed the space. And I thought, oh, that's fine. He'll be fine downstairs because he's asleep. Anyway, Gary goes downstairs, picks him up, brings him up, and lets him in the room. And he stayed with us all afternoon, didn't he, really? And then I knew what was going to happen. Gary's just gone out. He knows I'm in here. He's outside whining.
I thought Bex had a really lovely afternoon.
Oh, he did, because he got thoroughly spoiled between us with attention, which he doesn't normally get.
He just held himself up. At one point, he had his head on my foot and his paw on my foot. And I went, oh, like this. Robert said, hey, and I went, no, don't move him. The next thing, he must have had a real dream thing come on, because the next thing it was like claws into my toes, and it was like, ah! It was quite amusing. So then my foot did get moved away from Bex's claws, but he had such a lovely afternoon. So that's what Bex wants to do every day with you. Go to work with you.
Oh my God.
Ollie's got all nice, clean, washed bedding.
Oh.
Put it down all nice and neat.
Oops.
Eeyore's on it.
Oh.
He gets down, he cuddles up on it. 5 minutes later, he's up and it's all over the living room.
Oh, bless. Oh.
Just to say, yeah, thanks very much, but don't bother. Just like a teenage boy.
Yeah.
You know, don't go in your room, Mum. Well, that's what I understand teenage boys are like. Not that I've had any experience of them.
You know, mate.
Yeah. From what I've seen on the television, that's what they're like. I don't know if anybody's got teenage boys and can tell me that is true or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Tracy has.
Yes, that's true. Tracy has.
Yeah, Tracy has.
Well, I've got one more row to do, and I'll have finished the yoke thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which means that then I'll put it down and leave it for probably until next week.
Hmm.
Oh, I do have a nice afternoon nap planned for Friday.
A nice afternoon nap.
Yeah, planned for Friday.
Not while you're driving, I hope.
No.
Well,
Gary's
Friday.
insistent.
Oh.
Yeah, Gary is insistent that we have to go and see Top Gun Maverick on Friday. So that's my nice afternoon nap. We sat and watched Top Gun last night. Between us, neither of us have seen Top Gun, and it's 36 years old this year. And we sat and watched it, and by the end of the film, we both looked at each other and went, "What was that all about?"
But you're going to go and see another one on Friday.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's what he wants to see it.
Have either of you seen the Blair Witch Project?
Oh God, no.
No.
Well,
I hate horror films.
No, it's not. That's the thing. Everybody said horror film, don't want, and I had to be persuaded big time to go and see it. 1999, I was still on sick leave, so a friend of mine dragged me to see the Blair Witch Project. I'm sat in the cinema, and I don't like horror films. I'm sat there. Well, when are they going to scare me then? Oh, am I going to be scared in a minute? No. God, this is boring. And it was one of the most boring films I've ever seen in the whole of my life.
Really?
Carry On Screaming was scarier than the Blair Witch Project.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I've never watched it.
Jackie says, yes, she saw the Blair Witch Project, thought it was a load of rubbish. It was beyond a load of rubbish. It was a pile of... I'm just sat there thinking, yeah. And we walked out, and the manager was there, and I said, has it scared anybody? And he said, yeah, quite a few. I said, but it's rubbish. And he went, yeah. So heaven knows what hype there was to get it to be so popular.
I think it was more the way it was filmed, wasn't it? The fact that it was such low budget, not with the whole...
And black and white.
Yeah, that it was just a different way of making a film. Well,
I've seen some rubbish films in my
I've never
time.
Seen it. I just don't know. However, I do.
Trust me, Robert, you will not be scared.
Yeah. I remember going to the pictures, and me and a friend, this is years and years and years ago, and there was one film that we said, we're not going to see that. Absolutely no way are we going to see that film. So anyway, we got our tickets, we got our popcorn, our drink, and went and sat down. I said, it's a bit late in starting, isn't it? But never mind. So anyway, we carried on, and all of a sudden, I can't remember what film we were supposed to be seeing, but we had walked into the wrong cinema thing. And then on the top, all of a sudden, the film that we had both vowed we would never, ever, ever, ever watch appeared. And we were sat there watching Basic Instinct. So we'd gone into the wrong... We did actually sit there. I think we sat there and watched most of it and then walked out at some point. But yeah, so it was, I don't know. Films are, there's just certain films you want to see and certain films that you don't want to see for whatever reason. And that was one that we didn't want to see. But never mind. In years to come, I have actually watched it. But yeah, at the time, it was one film that I did not want to watch. For my own reasons, so yeah, but never mind.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to watch that one either. Just doesn't.
No, it was.
I remember I'm going to see Mrs. Robinson when that first came out, and that was X-rated.
Yeah,
and I was definitely not 18. I don't think any of the audience were 18. Because we were all from school. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that one. Thoroughly enjoyed Mrs. Robinson.
Oh.
Have you seen Mrs. Robinson? The film?
No.
No. I've forgotten who's in it. And somebody and
Hathaway?
Who's in Mrs.
Why are you
Simon and
laughing?
Garfunkel. What?
Mrs. Robinson had Robert De Niro in it, didn't it? Not Robert De Niro.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, that's it.
Anne Bancroft
Yeah.
and Dustin Hoffman. The Graduate. Yeah, that's it.
That
Mrs.
was
Robinson.
many years before Anne Hathaway was even thought of.
I don't know.
Yep, I got the title wrong. I got the name of the music right, Mrs. Robinson.
Oh,
but
right.
Dustin
I've heard of The
Hoffman
Graduate.
and Anne Bancroft. Yeah, The Graduate. Brilliant film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. No, not seen it. There's certain films that you absolutely love. Do you know what? One film that I was thinking of the other day that I really, really, really should. There's two. One was Ladies What Do. Has anyone seen that with Peggy Mount in it? And it's an old black and white.
No, I've heard of it.
It's just. It's one of the best examples of a black and white comedy film with all of those.
Hi, Lindy.
Bye. So that's a really good one. And then there's another one. If you haven't seen it at all, it's really quite tongue-in-cheek hilarious. And it's called Booze Cruise. And you'll recognise the people who are in it. I don't actually know their names. But it's this... neighbours from what's his name, Murphy from George and Mildred's in it.
Oh yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, so that
yeah,
those are two films that you'd never ever pay money to go and watch them at the cinema. But do you know what, when you think I've got a few hours, what can I do, what can I watch, they're actually quite amusing. So yeah, quite enjoyed them.
Richard likes a film called The Plank. Oh, it's an old film, 1950s, black and white. No sound.
I was going to say that's before the 50s. The Plank, isn't it?
I'm sure it's the 50s. It's not. It's just called The Plank. I'm sure it's got. But Richard likes that.
That's one of the biggest iconic movies, I think, of its day. The Plank. Who's in it as well?
Oh.
Wasn't Harold
Crikey, there were some big names from the time.
Who was it? Let's have a quick look.
1967, apparently.
That late?
That late?
Oh my God.
The Plank is a 1967 British slapstick comedy film, 51 minutes long. It follows the misadventures of two builders who require ...
Eric Sykes.
And then it was and the Eric Sykes version is 1979.
Right.
Oh no, 67 was Eric Sykes as well, with Tommy Cooper, Jimmy Edwards, Roy Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy Castle.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, he was brilliant.
And I really love seeing. I never ever enjoyed their Saturday night TV, if you know what I mean. I just didn't get it. But when you sit down and watch a film with some of these characters in, absolutely brilliant. Really, really good. It really shows you a very, very different type of acting art, I suppose. They were very, very different from what we have today.
You know, it's thanks to him. Bad choice of words, that we know about passive smoking.
Mm. Yeah.
Such a shame.
Yeah. And who didn't watch Record Breakers? And
I've got the theme song
exactly.
through my head
We all
right
used
now.
to sing it, didn't we? It was just like, wow. Amazing.
Dedication's what you need.
So true though, wasn't it? When you think back then, there were all the and I am going to make the comparisons to now, where no one's first, no one's last. So we all work as it's about taking part. But back then, there were all these messages about, you know, to be the best, you need dedication. And that's what we looked at all the time. And if you're hearing that message time and time again, it does mean that you've got to practice. You've got to keep going, and get really good at something if you really want to. It's not just going to
it doesn't just land in your lap.
Yeah, so
just doesn't just happen.
And let's face it, he wasn't aggressive or even assertive about it. He was just an amazing person to watch. And he he had a lovely air about him, didn't he, as he was presenting? Really, really lovely and encouraging. And there are all these incredible people. And I bet every single one of us just sat there, glued to the TV to see who was going to come on. Didn't you all get
I remember
attached?
watching it, certainly.
You what, Marion?
Certainly. Pardon?
You what, Marion?
I remember watching it.
Oh, yeah, it was. And I'm not saying it's all about winning and being first, but there was a really good message. And even if you are never going to be first, just to get up every day and get better, and it's amazing what you can achieve. And I just think he was a really good role model, wasn't he? Really, really good role model. I've forgotten all about him until tonight.
As somebody once said to me, we don't all have to be brilliant at somebody, but everybody's brilliant at something.
Yeah. You know, and if that's train spotting, if that's making like little models in your, you know, like the Airfix model type thing, doesn't matter what it is. If you're great at growing potatoes, much better than your neighbour, and you just grow them in a little carrier bag, absolutely brilliant. So
fine, do it.
Yay. Do you know what? Talking about potatoes, I decided to make jam yesterday, and I realised that I'd actually given all my jam jars away. So I went into town to buy some more. None in town anywhere. So then I put on the WhatsApp group, did anyone else have some? So I got some. Anyway, as I was walking past the pet shop, I thought, hang on a minute, I've got some potatoes that are sprouting, and the official term is chitting. And I thought, why don't I just put, so I said, have you got a potato bag? He said, no, but I've got this Hessian bag if you want to grow them in that. So I've got this Hessian bag that I'm going to put the potatoes in. So I've got some potatoes as well. So, yeah, because I'm trying to not throw things.
I wish I'd known about jam jars, because Richard took a whole load down to the earlier this week.
This is what we do, don't we? We get overrun with them, and we either give them away, or they gift them, or we just recycle them. And then
I will save them now. I nearer Christmas I tend to save the little ones, because Kirsten makes cranberry and pear relish for Christmas lunch, which is rather nice.
That sounds lovely.
It is very nice.
Oh,
it's nicer than having just cranberry, or cranberry and port and cranberry and but cranberry and pear. So yeah. I will now keep my jars for you. There will be a few coming along soon.
Thank you.
Because I've got some. Yeah.
But strawberries are just.
So what sort of jam are you going to make?
No, I've already made it. I made 7 jars of strawberry jam last night.
Where'd you get your strawberries from?
In Marks and Spencer's. Went in there and they had a tray about this big, about that deep. It was it 600, 700 or 800 grams, and they were big strawberries for £4. And
you got to do it.
And I know I drive into London and I go to my favourite deli, and their jam is amazing, and it's £7.50 for a jar of jam. So in my mind, I had 2 bags of sugar, jam sugar, in the cupboard that's been there for a few months. And I thought, this is £8 and I can get a few things. And I did. I got 7 jars out of it. So that's really good. Robert said, are you free for a chat? And I went, no, I'm jam making. And I've got to get the jars, and then I've got to clean them. So it was all stations go. And then I was able to use that jam that I'd made last night in some cupcakes today. So that's really good. And it
sounds like a plan.
So, yeah. So anyway, that's a random conversation about jam jars. And the moral of this story is, if you want jam jars, I'm sure that there is a shortage in the country at the moment, so recycle your own.
Because you've used 7 of them.
Well, no, one of the neighbours, again, they were going to recycle them, and they said, "Oh yeah, I'll just leave them outside for you." So I went down the lane and got them. So,
but we will keep them now in future for you.
Thank you. And like pickly things, only do for pickles because the smell comes back. But any jam, yeah, I'm going to start keeping mine again as well.
There's a shortage of almost everything at the moment, though, isn't there? It's a good job we are hoarders of stuff. When there's a shortage of wool, we won't have to go anywhere.
We can't. Let's face it. We can all help each other with every needle, every length. You know, I mean, a new brand of needles comes onto the market, and we all do cartwheels if to say, "Oh, we've got to try them," as if we haven't got enough knitting needles ourselves and crochet hooks anyway. But yeah, we can always help each other out with yarn.
I mean, I can't knit at the moment, so what did I buy? Yarn.
That's a true crafter.
I had a colleague at work ask me on my way out this morning what I was doing next week. So I just explained, you know, wrapping up Gogglefrogs, going on the retreat. And he said, "Oh, I really want to learn how to knit." And so then I started to explain to him, you need to decide what type of knitter you're going to be. Are you going to be really strict and only buy wool for project by project? Or are you going to be what we call a stash hoarder, like I am, which is where you see the wool, like it, put it in the cupboard, but then buy the new wool for a project anyway, without remembering that you've got loads of this other wool sat there just because it looks lovely and yummy.
That's me as well. I did buy yarn for 2 projects, but I haven't got the patterns for either of them.
That is, well, and a little confession as well. I showed you a picture of several pictures out of the book, and there's a jumper. It's dark on the top, like black on the top, and then purple, and it's that shape with 2 different colours and circles in it. You'll know the one. And I was saying, I really want taupe on the bottom. And then I thought that would really go with, rather than black, it would really go with brown. I thought, yeah. And I suddenly remembered that I bought all this blinking DK when we were in Sheringham years ago to do a massive wrap that I never did. And it is dark brown. I've got some gold, and I've got the most amazing dark cherry red. So I thought the top can be brown, the bottom can be cherry red, and the little circle things can be gold. So I have all the wool anyway in the garage, so I don't need to buy more. So that is,
you've just got to find it.
Well, that's another problem, isn't it? But I will find it at some point. Hopefully it's DK and it's not worsted. Oh, can you imagine if it is worsted? I need.
No, I bought 5-ply Gansey wool.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
So what type of, I know Ganseys are jumpers, but is it to use the candy pattern stitching something else, or is it for a jumper?
It's to do a Gansey with.
Wow.
Whether I use it to actually do a Gansey is another matter. But I bought some 4-ply skeins as well.
Oh,
to knit. You don't remember me saying I was never going to knit Richard a 4-ply jumper?
Yeah. We all heard that, didn't we?
I bought 4-ply to knit him a jumper. A rather nice sage green.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
In pure wool. I must be mad. Mind you, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it now.
Well, yeah, it could be some time, couldn't it?
Yeah. So I'm not going to buy any more yarn.
How many times a year do we say this?
No, I can't. I really can't.
Do you know what? After all of those hangovers I've ever had in my life, well, don't get them now, but earlier in my life, I never once said, no matter how ill I was, I'm never drinking again. But the number of times I've said I'm not going to buy any more yarn, I always break that promise. I really do. I don't know why I say it to myself.
I think I went about 5 months without buying any
That's really good.
this year. But that's because I couldn't knit, and then I broke it. But no, I can't. I can't.
But-
I'm not using it, so it's not just adding to the stash.
Yeah.
And the stash is large enough as it is.
Yeah.
In fact, it's got bigger.
Oh dear.
Right, ladies, it's 9:15.
Yeah.
My word.
I need to go. So, are we finishing, or are you two carrying
No,
on?
we're finishing because I'll end up coughing again soon anyway. So,
Okie dokie.
oh,
I will see you Saturday.
Thank you all for a lovely show. Marion, are you bringing Doe on Saturday?
No, she's not getting here until lunchtime.
Oh,
right. Okay. Fine.
She
So
still has not got a clue, by the way.
What about the party?
Yeah, she hasn't got a Scooby.
Oh, bless her.
oh.
I'll be there about 12, maybe 1, she says. I said, that's okay. And Richard saying to her, what's she going to give her for lunch? I said, she'll have a sandwich. Because usually she has a full meal when she gets there, but no, it's going to be a sandwich.
Oh,
okay. And are you joining us Saturday morning, or are you going to be too busy?
I'm probably going to be too busy putting bunting up.
Fine. So those of you that are going on Saturday afternoon will see Marion there. If not, you'll see her next week when we come live from the retreat, or at the retreat if you're going.
Yeah.
I will see you Saturday morning, Angela.
I will see you Saturday morning, 10 o'clock.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.